Hi, everyone. So I am going to reshare the link to the Google Drive that has all the playbooks in it. And today's is going to be called Built for More. Margin is the new metric. So it's actually such a good topic regarding what me and Pamela were just discussing before everyone was able to jump on, because we were both talking about how one or a lot of our weekend we were able to do things to kind of reset or help someone in our family reset. So right on topic. And just really quick, everyone who's on, thank you for being here. Raise your hand, digital or physical, if you've already scheduled out everything that you need to for 2026 for you to have a great year. Great job. So you took the blueprint material and you just literally mapped it out. Yes? All right, good job. Anybody else? Do you feel like you have some of it done, but just not all of it yet? Yes? Okay, so that's more of us. Okay, got it. Okay, perfect. So you have made progress, which is exciting. So give yourself a pat on the back for that. And our opportunity is that we actually schedule out margin first. Everyone let me know if you were able to get your worksheet. Built for More, margin is the new metric out of that folder that I shared in the chat. Yes, raise your hand if you have it. I don't want anyone without their tools. Got it? Okay. So what we're going to do really quick is I just want you to envision yourself as the leader that's going to create the future that you are planning to have in your life and in your business. And so every single person that's choosing to be intentional and start your week off with this Monday reset call, you're choosing to be the CEO of your life and your business. Otherwise, you would not make time to be here, right? You're intentionally making that choice. And the leaders that I've worked with before and that I work with now, several of the people that are on this call, I've had the amazing opportunity to either have a 1 hour session with, or I personally coach right now. And if you think about the most successful leaders you know, sorry, they scale sustainably because they treat rest the same as they treat revenue, and they treat margin like the metric that truly measures growth. And we're going to talk about what that looks like. It's not just rest, right? Yes, that is a big priority, and it's not just that. So first, if you all have your playbook in front of you, whether it's digital or physically printed out, let's go ahead and start with a gut check. On a scale of 1 to 10, how full is your tank today? Circle your number on a scale of 1 to 10 at the top of it. And why doesn't everyone come off mute and share? What did you rank yourself and why? How full is your tank right now?
It's Leska. I feel like mine's about a 3, sort of in between. I feel like there's a lot of catch up on planning and business to be doing, so I don't feel completely rested. And I did wake up in the middle of the night with a lot of anxiety for upcoming events. So yeah, just a little tired, not rested.
Well, thank you for being authentic. I'm glad that you chose to show up here. I'm really confident that when you are able to apply what we're talking about today, it's going to help you rank yourself a little higher than that more often next year. Are you excited about that?
But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Thank you.
Good. Yes, thank you for sharing. Who else? What did you guys circle?
For me, I'm at about a 7, and I
Okay.
think because even though Sunday is normally my off day, I had a lot of stuff going on in my mind that I need to get ready for the week. So I kind of prepared for the week yesterday. I got up a little earlier than what I normally do. I'm not an early person, but I'm working on being an early person. And then I think, once I'm up a little bit early, I don't feel like my day has gotten ahead of me. So that has truly helped. I'm a little sluggish. I probably will be a little bit higher if I didn't eat breakfast this morning. But yeah,
Okay.
about a 7.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Everyone else? You can type it in the chat or shout it out. What do you rank yourself?
I think I'm right there with Chantal at a 7. Is it weird when you have rested, but your mind is racing on the things that you should have done, so you feel guilty about resting, so you didn't enjoy your rest? Anyone else have that problem?
Lots of
It's just
people
not
actually experience that. One tip to help with that, and it comes from a book called Getting Things Done, is in the moments that your brain continues to remind you of all of those unclosed loops or unfinished things, you just write them down, whether it's in a note on your phone or in a notepad, and you're not going to address them right then, but it actually causes your brain to stop reminding you that they're not finished yet, because it actually believes that because you wrote it down, you've taken an action towards finishing it, and it doesn't feel like it has to keep reminding you. So if that helps anyone, that is very common, Pamela. Thank you for bringing that up. Okay, write down one word that best describes your current season in life and business. Just one word, if you had to simplify it.
Hey, Saundra, I wanted to change my 3 real quick. And I just want to say that because when I was looking at it, for some reason, it was only half your screen going 1 through 5. So I put myself in the middle. So
Oh, got it.
out of 5, a little higher than I said. So thank you.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. Are you able to see the whole worksheet now?
Yeah, that was just me. It was what
Okay, perfect.
other screen I had pulled down for writing. So
Okay,
thanks.
awesome. Okay, so at least it's not a 3. That's good. Foggy. Okay, thank you for being honest about that. What other words are you guys using to describe the season you're in right now? Anticipation. I love that, Pamela. Okay, so just be thinking about that. And then I want you to think about this one real quick before we actually get into the things that are going to help you, which is the best part, right? What does more margin look like for you? Not just time off, but the space that you usually are hungry for or crave that lets you breathe, think, and lead clearly. So what would that look like if you had more margin in your life and it was intentional? Hi, Treva.
Hi.
I'm going to reshare the link in here so that you can go grab it. This one is called Margin is the New Metric. So if you grab it out of there. What did you guys write down that more margin would look like for you? We'll just have 2 people share and then we'll move right into the solutions.
I think for me, more margin for me will give me more time for things that I enjoy. And also, like how you see, I put that, right now I'm foggy, but I think it's going to give me a little bit more clarity with having that margin.
100%. It does both of those things. I love that so much. One more person. What's it going to look like for you to have more margin?
I wrote 2 things, rest that doesn't need to be earned and revenue that doesn't stop because of problems. Just because sometimes it feels that when problems come up or different situations, everything else comes to a halt. So I would love to have it built out to where even if these things happen, my business doesn't come to a complete stop.
So your systems are just running, even if you're handling a new problem that you haven't addressed with the system yet. Love it. That's so good. I am sure those 2 things and also what you shared between you 2 ladies, I think you probably covered what most people would answer here. So really great answers. Great job being all in. Margin never happens by accident unless it, once in a blue moon it does and we're forced to pause. But for the most part, to have great margin, it doesn't happen by accident. It's actually a skill set to incorporate it frequently. And there's a lot of unlearning we have to do of our mindsets, our habits, our life experiences, what we've been taught about work ethic, and so many things that we have to unlearn for us to intentionally choose this. And remember, everything in life and business is a choice. So let's look at these 3 truths that make it possible. Number 1, plan peace before production. You can't lead others well if you're constantly reacting. Margin begins with a calendar that honors your life first, business second. So what days or weeks next year are sacred for you before the business calendar fills it? And then you're going to write that down. For a lot of people that I coach, they choose Sunday as one of their days. Or some people they're going to do dinner with their family every weeknight or 3 nights a week. Or some people have a weekly date night. So I want you to think about it as you're choosing your year versus just allowing it to happen to you. What are the days that you're going to hold sacred before you fill anything in for business next year? And write them down. And if you have clarity because you came to the blueprint and you have clarity around what weeks you're going to hold for vacations or when your kids are out of school or when you have friend time scheduled, go ahead and write those things down as well. Okay, I want 3 people to share examples of the things that you're writing.
Well, Saundra, one of the things I realized as I was writing, the things aren't necessarily for me. And it kind of made me think back to a podcast I heard that it asked the mom, it asked the mom, who are you? And everything that the mom said, it was revolving around everyone else. And that's when I realized, like, I really get out. I still don't have time for me. But the one thing that I'm thinking is my daughter graduates next year. So her graduation cruise, like that whole time is going to kind of be
Special.
Yep.
It is. Well, and I'll just share with you because I'm so recent to that with my daughter, that intentionality throughout that year is really important. And you're not going to be disappointed in yourself for any of the things that you do with her. There's no such thing as too many ways to celebrate that senior year. So I would give yourself grace around that and figure out what does a rhythm look like for you to take care of you, because you're going to navigate lots of high happy, high joyous moments and some hard moments during graduation year. So you need to make sure that you have consistent time, whether it's reading, whether it's journaling, whether it is that you're going to go on a spa day once a quarter, whatever it is. And the great thing about our children being that age is many of the things that we would want to do to take care of ourselves, we can sometimes do together where there's like interest. So what are some of the things you're thinking about that are going to help you take care of yourself?
Well, for me, one thing that I've been trying to do for the past 2 years is it's a retreat out in Boone, North Carolina called The Art of Living. It's a meditation retreat. Just making sure I get that on the schedule, whether it's the 2-day or the 3-day. And I'm leaning towards more of the 3-day, the silent retreat where there's no phones or anything, because I feel like that's going to kind of help me, reset and gain the clarity that I need. Because I just really feel like I just need a whole mental reset. I have people saying, hey, you should try this. Hey, sign up for this course, sign up for that. But being real with myself, I've been telling them right now I'm unteachable to an extent, to where I know if I sign up for it, it's going to be a waste of money because I'm not going to retain it the way that I should because of the place that I'm in right now. So I feel like I just need that full decompression reset. So I know before 2026, I will be going to Boone, North Carolina to that retreat.
I love that so much, and great self-awareness of where you need to be so that you're kind of an empty slate for you to build on top of, right? Where you can really get to that piece. I love that. That's great. All right. Good conversation. Who else? 2 more people. What did you write down?
I can share mine. From the blueprint, I had already scheduled pretty much everything, which kind of, I don't know, it feels like a lot to know that your entire year is already scheduled. But if you don't put those big pieces in, life will eat at you. But one of the things that I hadn't added and I thought of a couple of weeks ago, I had my day. So it was just me, and I went where I wanted to go, not because I had to go. That felt so good. Was I supposed to be doing something else? Yes, I was supposed to lead generate during that time. But it felt so good that I thought to myself, I need to just allow myself that one day where I'm not supposed to be doing something else and I'm taking this time for me. It's just going to be a me day. So it was just like, that felt good. So I wrote it down. I think it has to happen at least once a month.
Yes, so that is the gift of this, right? Is we understand what's going to work for us. So example would be if that retreat in Boone is something that you need, think about proactively in 2026, where can you, I don't know how often they do it, but where can you insert that such that it is more proactive and taking care of yourself, to your point, Pamela, versus feeling like I'm done. I know I need to take a break right now, right? The opportunity is to create it more proactively so that we can also schedule everything else around it. That's so good. Thank you, Pamela. One more person? Okay. We're going to move to number 2. I trust everyone has something written down because I really care about the impact of this for you. Number 2, build margin as a multiplier. Time off isn't lost. It's where breakthroughs happen. Your best ideas rarely show up when you're buried in your inbox. Who has your best creative, huge ideas when you're in the middle of just staring at your email? Not me. That's not usually when I have my best ideas. So I want you to think about, where does time off create your best ideas or biggest breakthroughs? Now, this could be your thinking time. This could be your planning time. This could be your habits to help make sure that you have time to sit down and think through your systems weekly. It could be your CEO day if you do that once a week. A lot of people do it on Mondays so that they're actually planning intentionally as the CEO of their business. So this is really where you think through margin being the thing that causes you to be a true business owner versus you just being a reactive business person. And what are your habits around thinking and planning for that? Some examples of that are the blueprint event, where you actually are getting that primary, here's my personal life, here's my business in process for the following year. You also could have your quarterly check-ins, which for people who got VIP tickets to the blueprint, you actually are going to have quarterly check-ins that are already on the calendar. You also could think about, what does it look like for you to plan your month, whether you use a 411 or whatever tool you use to intentionally choose what your month looks like to make sure it's in alignment with your values. It could be your weekly planning time, and where does that fall? I have mine currently on Sunday nights. I'm working diligently for me to get it to Fridays so that I can have my full Sundays present. I've just been doing it on Sunday nights for so long that it is quite the adjustment to ensure that I'm including my primary work during the work week. And you get to choose, right? So I would encourage you just to choose, what does that look like for you? Let's talk about what thinking or planning habits you currently have on your calendar and what you're planning to have on your calendar in 2026.
I know for me, some of my standard planning that I have now is, which I'm about to shift it to Tuesdays, but Monday is my seller call day. Monday is also my admin day, but I'm about to push my seller calls to Tuesday because that allows me to push out the stuff of my admin. I realize I've been sending them emails on Sunday night to brief Monday, but at least I can send out emails during admin day on Monday to brief on Tuesday. Wednesdays is my buyer's day. If I have buyers during that time, that way I do a buyer's update. And then I usually try to take like an hour in the middle of the day to go through social media. I know everybody feel like, oh, social media is a distractor, but like for me, I'm a creator. I like to craft. So a lot of times I'm looking at, TikTok is one selling suburbs. I love her stuff. She's out of Chicago, I believe. And she has a lot of creative ideas on things that I also incorporate in my business. So usually I try to keep my notebook handy. I got a page on it that says bright ideas. So when an idea pop up in my head when I'm watching her TikToks, I'm like, oh, I can incorporate this. And sometimes it takes a little bit more time to dig deeper into it because nobody really shows you everything. So you're going to have to do your own research. And I'll incorporate that back to my admin day to do my research during admin day. And then usually when I'm in my office, I have a TV directly in front of me. I'm always playing something real estate to kind of know what's going on, not just in my market, but other markets as well.
Those are really great habits to have. And you do your weekly planning. Is it usually on Sundays or is it usually on another day of the week?
It's Sundays.
Okay, Sundays. Awesome. So you have your admin day, you have an hour in the middle of your day to check on to see what you can do from a social media perspective. Are you intentional about direct messaging to get business from the social media posts as well?
I have been. I really got into it a lot more. I like to see who's interacting. So of course I like my TikTok. If you go on my page, I see it. If you're in my stories, I see it. And then I'll reach out to those, even if it's agents and stuff like that. I reach out to the agents as well to try to build my referral network as well.
That's exactly right. That's great. I love that. And do you track that well to make sure that you continue in those relationships?
Is the one thing that I am bad at is tracking. When I said tracking across the board. My CRM does track my calls, my texts and stuff like that, my income, but tracking has been one of the hardest things for me.
Yeah. Well, and don't beat yourself up over that. Just make it easy on yourself, even if it's a spreadsheet, just to make sure you don't lose the relationships you start. A lot of people on social media, when they have intentional time spent on that, a lot of them will lose track of the relationships because it's located there versus in their phone or on text. So make it easy on yourself. Don't take away from the time that you're being present in that. There are ways that you can do it. So I would just encourage you. Okay. What else? What are your planning and thinking time habits? I'm going to give you a book. Jessica, what are your planning and thinking time habits?
Well, I was just going to say, I was grateful for what we did in September because it moved me up from an October, I don't know, planning that I'd done in the past when in actuality, I needed that in September. So I hit October, November, December well enough to have business at the beginning of the year. So I'm grateful for just sort of rewiring my brain on that. And in actuality, I'm having to rewire on all kinds of various things. Even though I've been doing this for years, I'm just having to rethink a few things. So like that social media that she brought up, it drives me crazy, really trying to get away from it because it takes me, I feel like, a lot longer just to post, just to follow through. But I'm using a point tracker system on those direct messages and on just, liking things in general, but specifically direct messaging. Just within the past 2 weeks, I've seen how that has snowballed and has helped me in my business. So yes, that 1 hour a day minimum of social media for me is going to go in, and I'm probably going to have to stretch that out to about 2 hours a day. So
love it. I'm proud of you. And I'm so proud of you for having the direct messages and the relationships that come from it. That's so good. And I mean, Pamela is a great example here, right? She really cared about getting great at her social, and she's already started scheduling some appointments. She's very present as a mom, And that's, those two things of her being on the appointments with potential clients and being present as a mom are the top two priorities in her life right now. So she hired someone to do it, right? So now that person's not doing automated things that look like everyone else. They're actually doing things unique to her so that it doesn't blend in all the AI created stuff. So, and they're doing a really great job with it.
So much so that I've actually gotten feedback, like from people in my sphere are like, that video was hilarious. And I'm like, what video? Because now since I'm not doing it, I actually have to remember to go in to see what's going on. But it is me because I'm creating the content. I'm just not spending hours upon hours fixing it and making it pretty, creating the videos, the right tags or whatever. They take care of that, and so far it's been amazing.
I'm so proud of you for that.
But I just can't do it.
And everyone is at different places, right? Like if you need to do it, get in there, figure it out and do it. And people want to hear from you. Minimally, if you never do anything other than just post regular things like, here's what I do drinking coffee in the morning, and here's my sweet dog, and here are my kids, or here are things I love to do for friends, or Alaska, here are 3 things that I do when I'm preparing for an event or putting on a party, right? Just thinking about little small things that are unique to you and your gifts and your life. If you just post normal little things and then you direct message people, it just reminds them that you're in their life. Don't overthink it. Don't make it weird. Don't be salesy. I'll just go ahead and raise my hand right now and let you know when I first launched this coaching business, because people were so knowledgeable that I was in leadership before, I got weird for a little bit on accident because I was like, how do I tell people what I'm doing now since they're used to for 13 years me doing my old job? And so I had some direct messages that were going out to people that were like, hey, if you know anyone that wants one of these 3 one-hour sessions that I have on my calendar next week, let me know. And someone who knows me, who's known me for 12 years, probably was like, what is this? Is a robot sending me a message? Because she would never just talk like that. Because I experience the same thing that you guys do sometimes, of relationship to appointment conversion, and how do we make that natural? And I didn't do it well in the beginning because I was so used to being in my old role and I just wanted to be in relationship, but I needed people on my calendars. Just know people just want you to reach out and check on them and see how they're doing, and they'll remember to work with you as long as you're just being genuine in who you are. So when I got back to that, it helped me start growing my coaching one-on-ones a lot better when I just was being me. People just want to hear from you. People need connection more now than ever. So if you're just the one that genuinely is creating that, you're going to get business from it. All right, number 3, treat rest like revenue. When your energy is full, your business flows. Rest isn't a reward, it's your advantage. So this is going to be a slightly different question. What restores you faster than anything else when your energy is down? Is it writing a gratitude list? Are there specific couple of friends you can call? Is it taking a walk? Is it praying? Is it reading? Is it dancing, eating, drinking water? Just write down what are the couple of small things that you know are your secret sauce anytime your energy is down for you to turn it around. Okay, what are some of the things that you wrote down? I'm so excited to hear this list of things that causes you guys energy whenever you need it.
I listen to worship music. I just need to have a session of that, and it definitely puts me at peace if I'm having anxious thoughts.
Yes, I love that so much, Tiffany. And I also just wanted to go back because I just saw that Treva messaged in the group. So her things she scheduled from the questions before were Sundays, planning, date nights, summer vacations, and winter break for next year when we were starting all of this. So I love that, Tiffany. There's nothing better than just being able to sing your whole lungs out to worship music, right? Thank you for sharing that. I would say, how often do you have that proactively on your calendar? Because you probably know in the moments that you feel it or need it to go to that, because it's just in your soul to run to God. But how could you in 2026 or even before that consistently have it on your calendar more often than it already is? And Nicole wrote singing, traveling, positive energy, and spa days. You know, I'm a spa day girl. That was a great answer. Okay, what else do you guys have?
So I have daily time with my husband, coffee. We usually do coffee, but specifically what fuels me is more of that. I don't call it this, but sort of that dreamy state of talk where you're expressing big ideas that haven't come to fruition yet, but just having somebody to share that with, like him, has filled my cup quite a bit. And then I have to have my time in the morning doing my Bible study, or I don't do very well for the rest of the day. So those are like dailies, or, most of the days of the week, 5 days a week. So yeah.
I love that. That's so great. I love that you guys have that intentional time connecting and that you start your day with faith. That's so important. And I love that you're specifically sharing the dreams with your husband and talking about the future and what you guys have in store. That's exciting.
Thanks.
Who hasn't shared yet around this topic? Okay. Everyone knows what their habits are. Pamela sleeps in. I actually have experienced her being like, nope, I just decided to stay in bed today when she knows that her body needs it. So, all right, now, and some of you, if you were at the blueprint, you might already have this, so we're not going to spend forever on this, but my goal is that within the next 24 hours, you go from kind of had it done, or maybe I had my plan for next year. And to your point earlier, Pamela, this is not for you to have like every waking moment scheduled for, right? This is just that you have those core pieces that you can look forward to and create your living rhythm of your year in place for the year, and that you have this practice where you're thinking about it in September, to your point, Leska, every year, so that you can protect all of the things that are going to help you be a whole person to bring to everybody else that you serve. So we're actually going to go through and think about each of these items. Do you already have your vacations that you would like to take in 2026 on your calendar, or a rough idea of when they're going to be? And if not, go ahead and write them down of what part of the year you plan on taking them and where you're going. Even if you have no idea when you're going to plan it or pay for it yet, you get to choose what your life looks like. And then let's share some ideas of places that you're going with each other, in case anyone needs inspiration. And it doesn't matter if it's a small, long weekend or if it's an international trip or anywhere in between. This is just whatever resets you. Where are you guys going on vacation? Nicole said France, and I would love to go ride a sleigh pulled by reindeer under the northern lights in Norway. I would say that would be really amazing, Nicole. I'm sure you actually can do that. Okay, who else? She said it's so cold.
My husband is a big vacation planner. It gives him energy to do the hard stuff, knowing that he has something to look forward to. So we already have all our vacations booked and I think paid for next year, because that's how much he needs to know that they're coming. It's like what gives him energy to go through it. So vacations are already taken care of. One thing that I would like to do though this year is I haven't been to family reunion or mega camp or any of those. I would like to go, and I think it's gonna have to be Atlanta since it's so close.
Yeah,
So
that's exciting.
who wants to book a hotel with me?
I mean, I might end up doing it if Sean doesn't go, and he always likes to wait till the last minute to figure out if he's going or not. So that's
But yeah,
exciting. I love that.
I think I'm gonna do that. Haven't planned it yet. I'm just adding it now.
I'm considering if I want to do, and Nicole gave me a great spa down there. I might do a small spa day for people in the Legacy Collaborative before family reunion, like in Atlanta, where if someone comes like the day before, they could have a spa day before they start the event. So I am thinking about that. Okay. Anybody else with your vacation plans or plans that you would like to have, but you're just like, I can't even stretch myself to think that way right now, but I really want to go here? I would love to hear what those places are. Or like I know Treva has a really beautiful place at the beach that she goes with her friends every single year, and in the mountains. So maybe it's just that you get to go somewhere that you love a couple times a quarter or something. What is your vacation habit going to be if you don't feel like it's, some international place, but these are the things that make you and your family happy?
And actually, let me throw this in there. One of the things that we're doing towards the end of the year next year is we're going on a cruise on one of the new ships that Royal Caribbean has, and those are cool because it allows you to book in advance, but you don't have to start paying them till like think September or something like that. So like you literally have the entire year to make sure it happens. So there's an idea.
That is great. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, we're going to move into thinking time. So we talked about that a little bit. We're not going to spend tons of time here. This is just making sure you have your thinking habits on the calendar. Your annual thinking habits, which could include the blueprint, also could include the mid-year reset event that we do, where it's going to be in June next year instead of July. I will get the dates to you before the year ends, so you have it. It could be your quarterly planning time that you have on your calendar to make sure you're checking in on how did you do business-wise and personal-wise for the quarter. It could be your monthly, it could be your weekly, it could be your daily. So one thing we haven't talked about that I'll share with you guys quickly is each evening, and some of you who've coached with me before will already know I'm going to say this, and some of you haven't heard it yet. Each evening on my calendar, and some people have it in the morning, I think about the L.I.F.E acronym. So, did I love the people I care about well today? That's my family or my friends. And just did I do anything small to let them know that I love them or spend time with them? I stands for improvement. Did I grow or learn something new today? So if that is podcast, book, class, coaching, right? Any of those things. F is, did I do something to contribute to me being healthy today? So that is, did I drink enough water? Did I eat well? Did I exercise? Anything related to fitness. And then E is, did I do anything that either makes money or saves money today? It stands for economics. So did I set an appointment? Did I go on an appointment? Did I lead generate well today? Did I make a decision to shop my insurance and reduce the cost of it? Did I get rid of an expense that I don't need to pay anymore? And then when you are just looking at it every single day, then you can choose, how do you win the day in those 4 core areas of life of loving people, improving every day, your fitness, and your economics. And it can just be little tiny habits, but at least you can say, even if I feel like, to Pamela's point earlier, I have 10 million other things I need to be doing or that I haven't done yet, I did these things well, and you can build on what you do well. So that's just a little daily habit I have, if that helps anybody in your daily reflection. Another question to ask yourself, in addition to what you're grateful for, is who did I help well today? Okay, planning time. We talked about that. One thing I would say is I really love that Leska brought up earlier, having the vision and the dream conversation time with her husband. So if you're already doing date nights, or if you're looking to date someone, or if you are taking yourself out to think about your dreams, having consistent time to just intentionally focus on what you'd like to create in life and be grateful for what you already have in life is super important, wherever those habits fall on your calendar. All right, faith building time. Some of you have already brought this up, right? So what does a winning year and winning habits, what do winning habits look like for you to grow in your faith next year? Some of you run Bible studies. Some of you go to church. Some of you do meditation. Treva used to teach yoga. She's really amazing at yoga. I've had some people share with me that they're going to start hosting workout events, or I've had people that go together to work out to hold each other accountable, right? So just making sure that you are building your faith, but also that you're taking care of your body and your spirit, which I kind of am combining those two. So I love what Tiffany said about singing worship songs consistently. So whatever's going to grow you in your faith. I would love to hear ideas of that, because some of you, it's hosting a Bible study, or you have a small group at your house, or you have felt pushed to do something in this area bigger or different than what you currently do. And now's your time to listen to that push. So what are the things that all of you guys are doing for your faith specifically?
I'm gonna jump in there and say I feel like it's very similar. I'm taking a leap and saying it's very similar to for all of us, where faith is such an integral part of our life and who we are, that sometimes we don't even think about these things that we're consistently doing. But I will tell you that sometimes when life gets busy, feeding your faith is one of the first things that you let go of. It's just human nature. And I've seen it happen to me where I'm like, oh my God, I'm just too tired to go to my meetings today, like to go to church, or I will let other things interfere. So I feel like making sure that you put it on your calendar, and not just because you're so used to doing it, it doesn't go on your calendar, but also learning to respect the space it holds. And that's for me. I need to make sure I honor that commitment to myself. I think it's important. So I actually appreciate you adding it to that, because it's moments to not just express your faith, but to build your faith. If you don't build it, if you don't feed it, it won't hold you together when you need it the most.
Awesome. Thank you for bringing that up. It is. I mean, a lot of times our faith and our self-care are the first two things we throw out the window And we focus on how do we just make things happen. And anybody who is driven to build any kind of life or have a great work ethic sometimes can fall into that space of just making an exception one time or not being. I'm guilty at times of checking the box that I read the devotional, but not investing enough time for me to write down what God's saying to me based on what I'm reading because I didn't allow myself enough time to dive into it. So whatever it is for you, this is just a chance for you to think about what does it look like for you to be intentional about it next year. And then making sure, to Pamela's point, that you've protected that space with your life because it is your life and it's the version of you that's going to show up to everything else. And people really need to develop their faith at a bigger level. I feel like there's a bigger opportunity now than ever before in history, in my life anyway. I know I'm not ancient, but I'm mid-level age, and I feel like there's a huge opportunity to bring people closer to Him. And how are we going to bring people close to God if we're not working on ourselves and what our relationship and faith looks like? So I'll leave that there. And we talked about this. So this is your health. Where are your workouts? Where are your walks? Where's your yoga? I love that Nicole wrote that she also loves yoga and meditation, right? And so does Treva loves yoga. So what are you doing? Is it Pilates? Is it running? I'm not a runner, but you guys can go run. I'll walk next to you. So let's think about, what does winning in the self-care department look like next year? Is it working out? Is it spa days? Is it massages? Is it making sure that you get your hair and nails done? Those are two of my things that are self-care on my calendar. What are they? And then just making sure they're on there consistently instead of reactively. And then rest days. And what defines a rest day? It's when you're completely resting. I actually had my cousin's daughter, who was my nanny, her name is Kayla. She messaged me yesterday because I texted her in the morning and she said, I'm so sorry I didn't get back to you yet, but we had an electronic free day with me and my kids. She has little tiny kids, by the way. So they actually had a day where everyone got to choose an activity for 2 hours at a time, and they had to all do whatever that person wanted and let the kids lead the day, and nobody could be on any electronics at all. And she said that the kids were happier. I would go as far to say as adults are happier too when they're not responsive and focused on electronics. So just think about, how could you include full rest days on your calendar? I love what was mentioned earlier about the retreat in Boone. I think there's so many opportunities to just create a space where we can just be more often. And then family and friend time. I just finished doing my November calendar this morning with my virtual assistant, who is amazing. Her name is Angel. And we went through and I ensured that I have specific family things on my calendar, and then also that I have 2 to 3 times a week that I either have friends already booked on my calendar, or I have spots for me to know that I'm filling with them because I have it blocked out with friend time on it. So make sure that you are including the people who give you life and energy on your calendar on purpose when you're planning your year. One of the things I do with my sisters too is an annual sister day. So if you think about your parents, your grandparents, your aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, anybody that's near and dear to you, how can you on purpose create more memories and more time with them in 2026? Okay. So you guys have looked at a lot of this, and some of it was the first time and a lot of it wasn't, but hopefully you got a little bit better and you feel good about having margin that's going to help you in your life and your business more frequently on your calendar in 2026. So let's go ahead and look at everything that you've written down or everything you've thought about during this call. And I want you to share, what are the things you're committing to? What did you get out of this? What is this going to help you with? What's one margin restoring move that you're committing to?
For me, mine will be booking my retreat. I think that's going to set everything else in place for me.
Love it. Love that, Pamela. Yes. Isn't that funny? And especially when it was me, you probably definitely thought it was numbers. On purpose, had a play in words in the title. She said when she read margin, she thought it was numbers. I'm glad you showed up anyway. And I know you like numbers. And what if we treated our time as the same or more important than all of the other numbers that we work to improve in our life? Like our money, like our weight, like all the other things that we have measurables for. What if we treated our time just as special as that? Thank you for that, Pamela. All right, who else? What did you guys get that you're going to commit to based on this conversation? We know you can't pour from an empty cup and you can't multiply from exhaustion. Or what was your biggest takeaway?
So I've been pretty good at creating that vacation time the past couple years, but it was always the 1 week or 10-day. We usually do a 10-day vacation, and that's worked out. But this year we came across something different. We had bought a camper last year, a little bitty camper for just the two of us for our 30th anniversary. And this year we did a lot of, at the beginning of the year, like taking off on the weekend, except there would need to be a half day here or a full day there for my husband to have off. So when we planned to go out of state possibly for Christmas this year, lo and behold, he had no vacation time left. And I just laughed because I thought, well, that's just me, not sticking to the plan that I'd learned before about sticking in that like once a quarter type of 3-day weekend thing. So for this year, I think I'm going to be more intentional with that because that time is really important to us, just to have a little bit here and there. So going to do that. So maybe Christmas next year gets not pushed to the side. So what happens is every year he has so much time left over that he has to take off between Christmas and New Year's. And we never go anywhere because we didn't plan for it. So this is the 1 year we thought we were going to be able to do it. Yeah, we didn't.
Okay. So now you're going to just be more intentional about making sure you have the frequent time together.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I love that. And I do want to draw everyone back really quick to what Pamela said as we wrap up. Remember, as we are intentional about taking care of ourselves and having thinking and CEO time on our calendar, it allows us to create systems, improve systems, create things that are just going to run for us in our business, or improve on the systems that we're leveraging to the people that we're hiring in our business, depending on where you are and growing. So when you slow down to do that part, it speeds everything else up in the time that you've allocated to work. What did you say, Pamela? You're muted. She might be muted on purpose. Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. And I really appreciate you. I'm excited for what you got from it. I can't wait to see you apply it. And I want to celebrate with you whenever this is having an impact. So make sure you share it. And have an amazing week.
Thank you. Have a good week.
Thank you. Bye.